Alright, there's a couple of enemies down here I gotta kill for my host. There we go. Now, I've been summoned in on this one, so I'm trying to make a good impression. In Ring City, they tend to spawn you kind of far away from your hosts, so I kill a couple of baddies, I stand at attention, and we're quick friends. Now, I don't always have this luck, so a lot of hosts will summon me just for chaos. You know, they'll have a dried finger going. They want to just add to the mayhem because for fun reasons, which is totally fine. And these guys are pretty cool. They kind of ran the gauntlet with them for a little while. It was kind of neat. Dark Souls always has the weirdo covenant. We had the Grave Lords and the Chaos Serpents in the original Souls. Dark Souls 2 had that rat covenant and that really, weird Pilgrims of the Abyss one, if I remember correctly. In Dark Souls 3, we have the Mound Makers. The first online invasion encounter I ever experienced in the third game actually involved the Mad Spirit. I was on my second character, since my first characters are always solo offline when I play these games. But I didn't get to enjoy the online until my second character. And on a whim, I'm in the high wall, I summoned a random wight at the tower. Not long after that, a half-naked Mad Spirit came into my game and slayed my summon while I was distracted fighting a Lothric Knight. And then they disappeared. I didn't know what the hell had just happened, but I knew I had just seen one of the new covenants in Dark Souls 3. That's the magic of the covenant. The chaos factor. That's really what I'm going to talk about today. Mad spirits are unpredictable, or at least they're supposed to be. This is the covenant I pick for a Day of Souls when I just don't care about the outcome. I kill someone, they kill me, someone gets a shackle for the mound, it doesn't really matter. I'm just there for the fun. I'm okay with the host and the questing party getting to the boss gate if I can't get to them in time, that's cool. I'm okay fighting red spirits and blue spirits, that's cool. I do not respect territorial boundaries in the Farron area or the Gang City. If I come in, I'm a mad spirit. I'm here to spend as much time causing harm and mayhem and chaos and confusion as I can. What advice can I give you? Well, just remember, there's no rules. Don't worry about honor, don't worry about victory, don't worry about loss. Do yourself a favor and leave that idea of winning to the hosts and the other phantoms. You're a madman, or a mad woman, I guess. Be a mad person. In Dark Souls 3 in 2018, I do see more and more people using this covenant like any other invasion covenant. That's okay, I guess. I guess it's been out for a couple years, so the nuance of the covenants may be kind of wearing thin for some folks. I get it. I see more and more signs placed down for duels and anything else, that sort of thing. Do whatever you like. Play what you want, all that. But there's other covenants for that sort of thing. That's the only thing I want to tell you. Now, these guys had summoned me in a couple of times, and I was fine just kind of questing with them and repelling other invaders if they had come in, but then I realized when we got to the bonfire here that they had already cleared the shortcut. And once I saw that we had to get past the dragon here, I knew I was in trouble since my mad hollow can't really handle the fire. And then the gold gets killed, taking away my shot at a shackle if I did decide to betray them over here. So, like any other good mad spirit, I see an opportunity, and I take it. This host, unfortunately, makes a bad roll here into the line of fire. And that's a successful invasion as a mad spirit. Or a successful summon, I should say. Now, there's all kinds of hosts that'll grab you. In the Ring City, at the level I am here, I'm 140. I see all kinds of stuff, man. It's really weird. I love it. This is the best place for me right now to do this covenant, I feel. The host will summon me. They'll almost always are having some kind of dried finger thing going on. This is another example of I kind of stumble into a situation. I test the waters. The host is a little bit, nervous, so I show my back to him, and then, again, we're fast friends. And then the invader realizes, like, okay, great, this purple's gonna be a jerk. But, that's the nature of the game. Don't trust a mad spirit. Don't even trust another mad spirit if you're a mad spirit. Never expect an ally when you see a mad spirit running around. That's the main thing. This kind of goes on for a little bit here. Another example of me just kind of following the questing party, looking for opportunities. I run right past the invader right there, to the invader's confusion. I haven't actually attacked the invader yet. So at this point, it's one of those situations where everyone's just kind of waiting to see what I'll do. I actually tagged the host right there, but they're taking it in strides and say, no, they summoned me. One of the other phantoms died. Now, if you don't actually get the kill on a phantom, you won't get a counter towards getting your shackle if there's multiple phantoms. You have to actually commit to the kill yourself. Oh, right here. Here we go. So, the blue spirit came in, right? And the blue spirit didn't realize I had been summoned since he came in well after the fact. So he's just thinking I'm another invader. He's looking for his his ear, no matter how he gets it. So I gotta look out for the blue now. So I focus on just fighting the enemies while the other phantoms kind of get things going on. I hope maybe the blue will see me actually fighting the ring knight here and kind of get it. But of course, like most blue spirits, unfortunately, our friend won't last much longer to actually give a crap. And then, of course, once the blue's out of the game, there's another normal invader in here also. And then the host is alone, and they're dead. And I do a funny gesture. And both reds are just absolutely confused. I can't tell you how many bewildered hosts summoned me as a spirit via soapstone in areas not typical for duels. Just because it's assigned and it's there, most of the time the dried finger parties get me, but not always. No, not always. Sometimes a new player, and no matter where I am in the game, will summon me into their game. It's rare, but it still happens. Sometimes people just summon you to gank you. I think this questing party, I don't know the story here, but obviously the host summoned me. Obviously the host is attacking me, or I assume that's the host. I don't stick around here long enough, but there's 2 reds. There's 3 in the questing party, I think, and I'm just kind of like purposely being neutral, seeing what's going to happen, but it seems like it doesn't really matter what exactly is happening, so I just kind of let this play out. And I think after a certain point, I try to turn on the reds, kind of give the host, like, hey, I can be friends, and I get a hammer for my trouble. And yeah, this is one of those situations where you never know what the host is actually thinking when they grab you. They might accidentally summon you, they might summon you to just kill you, they might summon you and not realize what the purple sign means. Even though this is the Ring City, you'd be surprised how many players are just so new that they don't get to experience all the covenants, they don't know how they work. And again, I'm a mad spirit. Add more, shackles to the pile, as I say it. That's fine. Now this guy summoned me, I think maybe for a duel situation, which is the other type of summons I sometimes get. But I kind of run past him when he buffs his weapon. I pull the lever. I act very, whatever, like I'm a normal summon. He doesn't rush me, some hosts do. They just like, no, we're fighting, and then that's how it goes. So I'm trying to get him to follow me, like, no, I'll escort you, my friend. I'm totally trustworthy. Yeah, I mean, you could really do what you want with this covenant. That's the beauty of it. You can have people just play the game that you want them to play, or you could react to what they're doing. I've had situations where I felt more malicious than others, so if I get summoned, I might just hide in the level somewhere. And sometimes with a lot going on, if the host is summoning other phantoms or other invaders are coming in, or they've got a dried finger and players are coming in and out of the game, they might just lose track of who's there. And I've had situations where I've been in the world for like 20 minutes just kind of watching. And I know not everyone likes playing the game that way. I'm a pretty patient player. So, yeah, that kind of thing doesn't bother me. Me and this host taking out his ring knight here, even though I still think he always intended to fight me. So, if you see he's a little bit cautious, I think maybe he's considering attacking me when I'm not paying attention, but he's nervous because he sees me using weird spells and I have a dagger and I'm naked and I'm weird. And sometimes people will react to you just differently because you're a mad spirit, because you are unpredictable, because they know that you're unpredictable. And they don't know what to expect, what for you to pull out, because who would want to put their purple summon sign down in the Ring City, right? So, this is a situation where I'm playing the role of the friendly escort, and the host obviously doesn't want to go in there solo, and we have a bit of a dance here where I speed it up a little bit just because this took a while. Then he buffs his weapon, again kind of giving me the impression he wants to fight, and then I don't react. I don't give any indication that I'm hostile. And this lasts a while. I inch at him, he inches around. Yeah, this is funny stuff, you know. This is just one of the things I like about this Covenant is just people being forced to play the game in a weird, unconventional way. And I kind of feel like this is a really cool little detour from just some of the other secondary Covenants in Dark Souls before. A good example is the Chaos Servants in the first Dark Souls, where invasions in Dark Souls were built around collecting humanity, kind of how tongues are in this game, only the Chaos Servant Covenant didn't necessarily have to invade to acquire them. You could simply play more passively and acquire humanity through other means. This is sort of like that. Okay, so let's recap the Covenant parameters. So a mad spirit that has been summoned can attack the host or any other phantom present. We know this. The host level enemies will react to you with hostility, and they can be dispatched for your souls like a white or a gold spirit. You cannot, however, cross level boundaries with the host and the other summons, which means you can't participate in boss fights, basically. Depending on the amount of players present also in a host world, you will earn a shackle when you dispatch a minimum of required phantoms, and then you will disappear. If the host dies, you return to your world with a shackle also, which means under certain conditions you may actually earn more than one shackle. It can happen. If you yourself are slain by the host or any participating phantom, the actual person who kills you, that person acquires a shackle. Well, this is why you may find yourself getting summoned sometimes, so be prepared. Some people are just trying to get their shackles no matter what. Right here is a situation where I ended up interrupting a fight between a blue and a mound maker, thinking I could help my ally mound maker, which again goes back to what I was saying earlier. Never trust a mound maker. Now this is sort of a typical example of what an invasion as a mad spirit will look like. And I'm actually kind of happy with how this one turned out. I get a shackle for taking out the other mad spirit, and the blue actually managed to turn the tables on me here, and I get taken out pretty quick after this. But I consider it a successful example of what a mad spirit invasion should look like. I get a shackle, all the Covenanters get their items, and the host keeps playing their level. Pretty good success. Now, invading is what the rest of this video is going to focus on. This is my hedge witch. She's about level 20, I want to say, at the time I recorded this. I think I +2 reinforcement, not very far into the game either. You can tell by my SS allotment. I made this character just for this video. Now, level enemies won't attack you, obviously, if you're an orb invader, but all the other parameters are more or less the same. The pretext of being a potential ally is somewhat compromised since you're intruding, but you could still do a lot of the basic Mad Spirit things. You can fight Reds if they're in there, and as a Mad Spirit, you're more likely to be, coming in to deal with multiple spirits anyway. Um, but this is a good example right here too of just showing up, messing up a questing run, and even though I didn't see the host here, I did my job, basically. The good news with this covenant is that you don't have to beat a whole questing party. You just have to cause a certain amount of strife, and you leave. If you hate being ganked as a normal red spirit, be a mad spirit. Solved. I don't have to beat all of them. This is a good example right here. This is a party of players. Another one just came in while I'm fighting these guys. Now, a normal invasion, maybe circa 2016, 2017, this is what people would always complain about. It's like, how am I supposed to win? I'm one person, there's three of them. This is too hard, it's not fair, wah wah wah. I'm not a red spirit, I'm a mad spirit. I don't have to beat all these guys, okay? All I have to do is get them in a situation, make them use their resources, and when I have an opportunity, I take it. I focus on maybe one or two or whatever the game's requiring me to do, and yeah, I'll get my shackle and I'll leave. This guy comes a little bit too close, a little bit too far away from the rest of the group. I take him out, and that's it. I'm done. It's over. I go home. I win. These guys have to keep playing. Whatever resources they use to fight me right there are spent. Those guys had to keep playing their level. They didn't get credit for beating me, so they didn't get their SS refilled. That wizard used a lot of spells trying to get me. They have to keep playing, they're weaker for it, and they're a man down. Here's another example. I invade a host and his password summon, and they have a blue spirit in here too. Now, to make matters worse, the giant's shooting the arrows outside, and I don't realize it at first, but they cause damage to me, but not to the host because he's made peace with the giant. Now, as a red phantom, this is a pretty dire situation, but I'm a mount maker. It's going to be a little bit different for me. My job's simpler, so I'm not sweating it as hard. This might be my favorite covenant in Dark Souls 3, if I'm being really, really honest, and I sort of hope people give it a chance for the long term, because it's one of the more enduring covenants I've seen in this series. So try it out, have fun, and never trust a mountain nigger.